In the years before American troops left Afghanistan, tens of thousands of Afghans were admitted into the U.S. In many cases, their lives were in danger because they helped the U.S. military. Now, some are trying to get their family members out of Afghanistan, but it's not clear how they can do that. From San Antonio, Carson Frame reports for the American Homefront Project.
Many Afghans who aided U.S. troops now find themselves in a terrible limbo. They've made it to America on special immigrant visas, but their extended families are still in Afghanistan with no real way to escape.
We don't have anything in hand for my brother from the Americans, so he really scared from the Taliban. He left his own province and hid himself with his family in another province.
That's Khyber, an Afghan man who's lived in San Antonio since 2017. He worked as a reporter and translator for a NATO-led security mission that trained Afghan forces. He has to go by his first name because his loved ones are under threat from the Taliban.
One day or one night, the Taliban will come and knock the door, and they will ask about my brother, and they will kill him.
From the U.S., Khyber has tried just about everything to evacuate his family. He submitted their names to members of Congress and worked sources on the ground in Afghanistan. He says he may soon consult with an immigration attorney to petition the State Department. But he doesn't hold out much hope.
Whatever I could do, I did it. I can't see any chance for my brother or for my other family. But if something happened, that will be a miracle.
The Center for Refugee Services in San Antonio has been helping Khyber and other Afghans navigate the uncertainty. Until a few weeks ago, the agency collected names of vulnerable Afghans and forwarded them to Washington. The center's director, Margaret Costantino, stood outside in the heat, helping a crowd of Afghan men compile their lists.
Okay, thank you so much. Wow. You don't write? You don't know how to write? No. Okay, wait, let me get a pen.
But that's no longer happening. The agency's approach changed after the U.S. withdrawal. Costantino now refers Afghans to immigration attorneys. She says she's been told that Afghans living in the U.S. need to apply for humanitarian parole on behalf of their vulnerable family members.
I'm optimistic, but I'm scared because it all hinges on whether or not people can get out of the country safely. I don't know what nobody knows what the Taliban will agree to.
Immigration attorneys are facing long odds. The American embassy in Kabul has shut down, the borders are closed, and Afghanistan's infrastructure is crippled. It's hard to get documents into the right hands. There are three apparent options for stranded Afghans. They can apply for humanitarian parole from the U.S., get an e-visa for another country, or apply for refugee status in a third country. Farheen Siddiqui is a managing attorney at RAISIS, a refugee resettlement agency. She says even if their paperwork is in order, would-be evacuees still have no guarantee they can get out.
The really difficult thing is who is manning the airport and how do we ensure that it's actually safe? They're identifying themselves. They're basically admitting that they're fleeing Taliban rule, right? So the security measures are just in flux there.
Khyber hopes Americans won't forget about stranded Afghans during this critical time.
My message will be think about the Afghans and don't leave them alone. Try to evacuate them, bring them back here in the United States. So their lives will be safe here with their families.
He says he wants that safe life for his brother and will keep pushing for it, even though things look bleak. I'm Carson Frame in San Antonio.